We take you live now to Liberty Village, where NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh is making
we were
an
able to
announcement.
be there and fight for people and deliver these things. That's why we have them, and I'm proud of that. That's what New Democrats have always done. The reason why we have universal health care is because people voted for New Democrats, and Tommy Douglas was able to bring in universal health care. Our pensions, our old age security, all of these things that we're proud of, that make us Canadian, that make us different from the United States, are things that New Democrats fought for and delivered for Canadians. Elect more of us, and we'll continue that work.
Thank you. Next question, Richard Warnica, Toronto Star.
Hi, Mr. Singh. You have a goal to build 3 million houses. At the same time, you want to impose national rent control. Why would private developers and private capital invest at rental at the scale you're going to need if they can't charge market rents?
Now, we've looked at this question, and we've looked at rental startups or rental build startups in markets where there's rent control, and we did not see that it had an impact on slowing down builds. What we're proposing are incentives and investments that will make it easier to build more homes, but we're not going to make investments unless there's a guarantee that the homes are going to remain affordable. What's the point of spending massive amounts of federal money just to have homes that have no rent control, no protection for the tenants, no laws against rent eviction, and we lose all the affordable homes that we already have, and what we build becomes unaffordable in just a couple of years? That's not a good investment. So we are going to tie the investments that we're making to affordability. There's no point to build homes that people can't afford. We did a roundtable with young people in Halifax yesterday, and a lot of young people were saying, you know, I see towers going up in my community, but they're all unaffordable. They're all luxury condos. I can't afford that. It doesn't actually help me out. I want people to see towers going up in their community and say, you know what? I'm actually going to be able to live in that home because it's affordable.
I've heard you say a lot, send New Democrats to Ottawa, on TV mostly. I'm just following today. But I haven't heard you say a lot, I think I can be Prime Minister. Do you think you can win this election? Can you win the most seats?
Well, I can answer that question in the context of what happened in a minority government. Having been there, I can tell you just 25 of us really changed the face of our healthcare system. For the first time, we saw an expansion, including millions of people that are getting dental care, millions of people that will get medication coverage. I could tell you with 25 New Democrats, we were able to do that because you voted for us and sent us there. If you vote for enough of us and we're able to form government, I would be honored to serve as Prime Minister. People will choose the outcome of this election. I'm encouraging people to vote for as many New Democrats as you can, because that's the only way you'll have someone that's actually going to fight for you, to stand up for things that matter for you and your family.
Thank you. Last question, David Baxter, Canadian Press.
Good morning, Mr. Singh. Earlier today, we saw Pierre Poilievre talking about what he's calling a one-and-done strategy for permitting on major resource projects. You yourself have talked about wanting to build an east-west energy corridor. What would the permitting process look like for that? And do you think it'd be something that could be permitted in under a year if the NDP formed government?
Well, one of the things I want to contrast with Pierre Poilievre is that he's talking about making Canada more like the U.S., cutting the rules that we have to protect workers, the rules to protect the environment, our important relationship with Indigenous people. He's suggesting that those things can be skipped over, making us more like the United States. That's not what Canadians want. They're starting to reject the message of Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives more and more because he wants us to be more like the United States. Canadians want to be proud of who we are, and we don't want to be the 51st state, not just in name, but also in values and who we are. And so I believe we can absolutely build important projects like an east-west energy grid. We can build that, but we have to respect the environment. We have to ensure it creates good local jobs. We have to make sure that we're working in partnership, in collaboration with Indigenous communities. That's how we build projects in our country, and that's the way we should always build projects.
Yeah, I just want to pick up on what some of my colleagues are asking about with the end of supply and confidence and how things are looking right now. Is maybe think back to in Windsor, some people talking to some people at the Stellantis plant saying, oh, you should have called the election earlier, and you defended that once again with the dental care and pharmacare piece. If the voters don't choose the NDP this election and things don't go the way you want it to, would it be worth it for you in the end of the day that pharmacare and dental care, some deals got signed, dental care got expanded before this election, even if the NDP doesn't have a great outcome?
If the question is, you're asking me, is it worth it that millions of people are able to look after their teeth and millions of people have pharmacare, including diabetes medication and free birth control? Yeah, it's worth it. That's what we're here for. That's why we're New Democrats. We believe in making life better for people. It's always worth it to make people's lives better. That's why people vote for us. They vote for us to fight for them. So if you want someone that's going to fight for you, that's going to make sure you're a priority, that's not going to toe the line for billionaires or for CEOs. Someone that's going to say, I'm going to fight every single day in Ottawa to defend my community, the values that Canadians hold dear, like universal public health care. They're going to fight to build homes you can actually afford, not to make rich investors richer, but to give families a chance to start their life. Vote for a New Democrat.
Thank you very much. That concludes.
We've been listening to NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh making a campaign stop in Liberty Village.